Hey, this is Manny Moonraker, and we're about to start episode number 142 for all you crazy ufology people out there. Some of my favorite listeners on YouTube recently said that I sound like I forgot to take my meds. Oh boy. I really wish I had that Woody Woodpecker sound. Because that's what I heard in my head when I read that. I was like, what are you talking about? No fucks are given for you or anybody else that has that idea. Because honestly, when I listen to other podcasts, I really feel like I'm maybe in the top 10% of being sane. Are you serious? Forgot my meds. Fuck, I should be taking meds. Somebody send me some damn meds. I should be taking meds for talking about this so much. Honestly, a lot of people look at me like I am crazy because I do talk about this. Because I do give two fucks. That's the truth right there. I'm not lying about that one. But anyway, for you person, who, by the way, you could tell that English was not their first language. That's all I got to say about that. I'm not even going to keep on with that. But I want to talk about the 2018 rubber dickies because the person who was in first place has now moved down to second place thanks to Tom DeLonge. Tom DeLonge is now in first place for the 2018 Rubber Dicker of the Year award. But let's talk about that guy that fell down from the top already. His name is Ryan Sprague. Ryan Sprague. Apparently, he likes to travel in the ufology circles. He has a podcast, something about something in the skies, some shit like that. I'm a good sport about it, you know. I decided I'm going to follow him on Instagram to see what he's about. Because honestly, up until now, I've never heard of the guy, ever. Zero, zilch, nada. A lot of people seem to be passionate about his podcast and the fact that though he has good information, the way he delivers it and just the way he presents the topic is just not good. So I did. Listen, Ryan, if you're listening, I listened to 2 shows. I hope you're happy. It's not my kind of show. He's exactly the reason why I do this podcast. He's exactly the reason why I gave up in 2 to 3 hour podcasts. Because there's only so much you can talk about the same damn topic over and over. I listened to an episode when he's talking about To the Stars Academy and he was drinking whiskey with his guests. I'm sorry, I can't listen to shows like that for 2 hours. It gets to be too much. I mean, what more can you say about To the Stars Academy that you have not been saying up until that point? As a matter of fact, one of his guests in that show actually said that everyone working for To the Stars Academy was working pro bono. Now, mind you, this was in August of last year that this show actually happened. But we know now from the SEC filing that pro bono means $37 million in fake stock. Yeah, so no fucker is working pro bono for To the Stars Academy. Let's just clear that up. Every fucker on there is pretty much going to go broke because there is no money. There's no money to give them. There's nothing to share because Tom DeLonge's got it all. And mind you, apparently back then he was working on some project called Adam, which had to do with the material that was being housed somewhere in Las Vegas. Guess what? We know nothing about that as of yet. At least nothing of any importance to anyone who gives 2 shits about UFO and aliens. Sometimes I wonder why I curse so much. And really, I'm going to be honest with you guys. It only happens on this podcast. I really don't curse like this in real life. Well, not that this isn't real life, but, you know, in my Clark Kent time, you know, on here, I come on here like a goddamn ufology superhero. I kick in doors and do all that kind of shit. I take off my glasses. I have that little curl on my shaved head. But, in real life, no. I'm a mild-mannered type of guy. I don't talk this kind of shit with anybody. I'm telling you, people walking around going,
who the fuck is that guy?
Exactly, because nobody knows. Nobody knows. I have like 2 freaking personalities. Maybe that's what he meant about me needing medication. Maybe that was it. But ufology does that to you. So anyway, Ryan Sprague, I think it's Sprague, he moved down to second place because Tom DeLonge has taken the lead in the 2018 UFO Buster Rubber Dickies. And like I said, if you haven't joined UBR Truth Seekers on Facebook, it is the group. And in there's an image of what the Rubber Dicker of the Year is going to receive. And it's cute. Listen, anyone that gets that award should just be happy that people acknowledge the fact that they're, I guess, screwing the pooch. I don't know. Just acknowledge it. I don't care. I mean, if you get it, if you win this award, put it on your Instagram, put it on your Facebook, do something. Do something with it. Put it on your mantle. That's really where it belongs. It belongs on your mantle. To tell you the truth, because sharing is caring, and you should appreciate the fact that all these people took the time to vote for you. Bada bing. Anyway, yesterday, because I said I'd be back, and I was. Yesterday, we did that report about the shit that was going down in Ireland. I've got a couple of followers and listeners out in Ireland. And I want to say, this one's for you. I really do. But what's happening is that there's a bunch of ufologists right now. And they're kind of sad. They're saddened by they're crying away. They're pretty sad about this whole Ireland thing. Because things just are not going right. They're not going right. The one thing is, ma'am, can you shut up? The one thing is that the mainstream media has picked up on the Ireland situation, right? We know this. It's everywhere. Turns out that outlets like Time and CNN are reporting the UFO that was spotted in Ireland, which was fantastic. And it seems like around the winter time, we got the late fall, December, because December gave us To the Stars Academy and Tom DeLonge. It's when people have nothing else to do except sit around talking shit. And then so they figure, hey, let's report on UFOs because, elections are over. Let's just talk shit about UFOs. So all these guys are going into the mainstream and they're reporting that same situation about those 2 pilots that reported those UFOs over Ireland last Friday. Fantastic. But then along comes some dude. From the University of Manchester just jumped on the scene and without the Vaseline pretty much because he's saying, sorry. No, I believe that what you guys reported was a meteorite. Yeah, he stomped. He stomped on everyone's little heart in ufology. I mean, there's ufologists everywhere just crying. They're in tears right now. I mean, could this be true? No. Don't tell me. Tell me it's not true. Tell me it's not true that we actually saw meteorites. Tell me. I know. All right, thanks. Thank you. That's my extra. I pay her little to nothing to cry on the podcast. But she does a good job. Thank goodness for her. Anyway, Michael Garrett, professor of astrophysics at the University of Manchester, said while the pilot's reports should be taken seriously and investigated, there were many other natural phenomena afoot at the time. Apparently, it wasn't just E.T. that was fucking around over Ireland. It was also, possibly, a meteor. One thing that he points at is the fact that they said that it traveled at the astronomical speed of Mach 2. Twice the speed of sound. So, yeah, there's a lot of people out there saying, what the hell is going on? How is this guy going to go slinging shit around like that when we just got into the mainstream media and we just got some more notoriety this year that maybe UFOs are the real deal. So it turns out that Professor Garrett said, don't take these reports lightly, of course. Don't say that these pilots didn't know what the hell they were talking about. We're not going to do that. We're not going to say that. But chances are these were actually meteorites. And he points at the second report. Because in the second report from Virgin Atlantic, that pilot said that it was more than one object that was flying at that Mach 2. And Professor Garrett points to the fact that if it was a meteorite, it would also be traveling around that same speed and would break up into multiple components. So listen, Professor Garrett, you're like a day fucking late because we just got into this. Like, we could have had you before, and you could have done this before you embarrassed the shit out of everybody in ufology. Now you want to talk smack. Now you want to go into the mainstream media, and they're all going to point to you. Everyone's going to go to Manchester, and they're going to say, hey, Professor Garrett, tell us how everybody in ufology got it wrong. But on top of that, Professor Garrett, tell us how in the hell did these two pilots not ever see or know to identify a fucking meteorite? This is the stuff that I say you cannot write. You can't write this stuff. Because again, here we are, and we assume that two commercial pilots flying in the air, hundreds of thousands of hours, cannot fucking identify a meteorite from a unidentified flying object that might be from 4.2 far. This is what makes ufology a pitfall. Not one, but two. I can understand it was one. He had a couple of drinks before he got on the plane. Got up in the air, put it in autopilot, went to the back, got a couple more drinks. And when they sat down, they saw this fiery ball, bright light. And he didn't know, or she didn't know, what the fuck was that. But we don't have that. What we have is two potentially sober pilots who did not see that looked like a meteor. Instead, they said, is the military doing something up here? How many military planes do you know look like a meteor entering the atmosphere? Maybe I watched too many movies. Maybe a meteor entering the atmosphere and burning up is a very distinct thing. You have that smoky, fiery tail. You have that big, bright ball of fire in the front. Shit. Spielberg got it wrong, I guess. Maybe that's not what it looks like when you're flying a plane. In any case, this is what happened to that story. This is what's going on. So day 2 of the madness, because they picked up on the stories. The other thing that this article, which is linked in the description for you, because I love you guys, man. I want you guys to have information. The other thing that is quoted in this article is that the Astronomy Ireland, I don't know if that's a magazine publication, I don't know what the fuck that is. The article doesn't say. A place called Astronomy Ireland posted that it had reports of a massive fireball the same morning that these sightings happened. The fireball was heading northwest to southeast at a small angle toward Earth, greenish in color, with a long tail. There's the fucking tail. Spielberg got it right. Traveling quite slow, that broke up into several pieces, a la Virgin Atlantic pilot, basically. So what's the deal? What is really going on here? Did these two pilots not realize that there was a meteorite going by and did not see that fiery tail or just all of it? It's almost like they saw a little bright light and they closed their eyes and say, let me just call this in. I don't know. But it's another slap to ufology if it turns out that Professor Garrett's explanation is going to take over basically the UFO story and And these two pilots, holy shit, what happens to them? What happens to two pilots that say that a meteorite is a UFO? I don't know. That's a question that we have, really. I mean, this could be a case of the good, the bad, and the ugly for us. Because it's bad for them, I would think. Anybody out there, a pilot, that knows what would happen to two pilots who mistake a meteorite for a UFO or a military, I don't know, aircraft or some shit like that. I don't know. It's in the mainstream. Get ready for some more nonsense as the ufology army gets together to fight Professor Garrett. Because there's going to be a war on this bitch, I'm telling you. People are going to be mad and they're going to go at it. If you're looking for a ufology show that's different from that 2-hour shit some of these people put together, and some of it is good information, but I like the quick hits. Just give me 15, 20 minutes and I'm done. I don't need to be on there rehashing the same shit over and over. But if you like it, follow, subscribe, share, tell your peoples about it. UFO Buster Radio, the crazy guy named Manny Moonraker, and the fact that ufology really shouldn't be that serious because we don't know shit. All we have is a bunch of theories and a bunch of people that like to sell their theories in books. I'm not going to sell a book. Well, at least not yet. Maybe later. But at the moment, don't forget, all the links of the crazy shit I talked about is in the description. So check it out. I'll see if I can make it back tomorrow for part 3 of the Ireland UFO Shuffle and the professor that uses no Vaseline. I thank you guys, as always, for listening today. And as always, by the way, take that back. Sad news, of course, for the comic world and movie world and every world. Stan Lee passed away yesterday at the ripe old age of 95. Listen, I wish I lived to be 95 and show up in movies like he did. Many of us are in the age range where his cartoons and his comics and all that kind of stuff, everything he produced became part of our life, a part of the culture. And, Excelsior, Stan Lee. And it's going to be hard for anyone to kind of take what he did and improve upon it. And there was just a news report out that he actually was still able to complete his cameo appearance for the next Avengers movie. So we'll get to see Stan Lee one last time in a cameo for part 2 of the Avengers issue with the Thanos. Those of you who follow the movies, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, fuck it. It's time for me to go. Ciao, people.